everyone, today is April 5th and this is the second garden tour of our 2019 spring garden, and there's been a lot of things that have been happening. We've got a ton of flowers, lots of fruit are already setting and growing, and I can't wait to show you guys what's been going on since our last video. Okay, pretty girl, you gonna let me get through this video? I got you some ice and you'd be happy? So over here, I don't know if you guys noticed, but these snow peas have doubled in size and they have flowers all over them. This is probably the fourth year I've grown snow peas and I've never seen them do this good. They're doing amazing. And I've got tons of fruit already setting. Look at that. That's a little one, little stages that they go in. My kids check these every day. They are just waiting to harvest them. My middle child, June, literally lives off these. She's a picky eater, and this is really the only way I can get her to eat. One of the ways I can get her to eat her vegetables. I try to buy snow peas when we're not in season at the store, and she will not eat them. So, and I think as soon as any one of you start growing your own food, the store-bought food just will not compare to what you're growing in your backyard. It's actually turned me into a food snob. I guess that's probably one of the worst things you can say. But I just appreciate growing your own food and actually eating it. There's a whole nother side of growing your food, eating it, serving it to your family, and providing for your family. Here are zinnias. You can see the different stages, kind of from a smaller plant as they kind of get bigger. And this one's about to bloom. Over here I have one blooming. Isn't that beautiful? And this will side shoot a ton of flowers. So I'll have this huge bush right here just kind of cascading over the front of our beds. My celery is doing all right. I've been harvesting the pieces off the bottom and feeding them to our pigs because there's so much of them. So that's been fun. At least our garden is feeding our family and food that we're going to actually eat as well. I don't think I showed this to you guys in my last video, but this is kind of our fun little area where I like to decorate with flowers and things. Here are some of my succulents I've had for a year. These are actually more so house plants, but they're doing fine on our backyard because I would not water them if they weren't back here. I've started some mint down here. I picked up a container variety cherry tomato when I went to go pick up some more mulch for our garden. And look at that. It was just too beautiful and had way too much fruit to pass it up. I think I'm going to do some more container variety plants. And that's something too, if you guys don't have a lot of space, it's so easy to just buy. I got this at Walmart for like, I don't know, $5. That for $5. You can get containers like this at the Dollar Tree for $1. I have different varieties from all different stores that you can get really cheap. Walmart actually has these nice pots on sale for around $1 depending on your size. So that was crazy steal that I got. So those are really nice pots to have plants on your patio. And this is pretty cool. This is a onion that has gone to seed, and look how beautiful those flowers are. So we had them laid out, some of our harvest, trying to cure them and dry them to store them in our pantry, and this one just started flowering. So that was really neat. Picked up this little guy at the clearance rack at Lowe's for $1. That's another thing. If you guys are looking to start a garden but don't have a whole lot of money, check out your department store's clearance section. And there's always something. I got fig trees yesterday for $3, so I couldn't pass them up. There was tons of flowers on that rack for, you know, anywhere from $1 to $5 that would range normally from $10 to $25. So here's our herb garden. This is something I can easily access from when cooking. I've got some rosemary, basil, chives, and I have a little bit of cilantro in there, but it's getting too hot for that. I'm about to actually spray our garden for weeds. This is a concoction I use. It's a vinegar-based solution with some salt and dish soap. I can spray it on the garden, and I know it's not going to, you know, get into the ground and hurt our vegetables in any way. It's not hurting our bees. A lot of people use Roundup, and of course, as you know, or if you don't, it is terrible. It's killing our bees, it's getting into your food, it's giving people cancer, and that's part of why we try to do everything organic here on our farm. It's a farm now, I guess, because I mean, we have farm animals, and we have a little barn and garden, and now we have a front yard garden. So I'm just going to call it a farm. It sounds pretty cool. Anyways, we try to just kind of keep it as natural as possible. We do use Roundup around our edges of our property, our fence line. I don't like to do that, but we're just not going to hand pull everything around the property. So we try to not use it as much as we can. All of our flowers here in the bed are doing really good. This has been fun. I have this old wheelbarrow. I put some snow peas on the edge. These usually need a trellis to grow up, but I thought they could fall over and kind of cascade over. And so far that's looking really pretty. I've got some zinnias and marigolds, along with some mint in my chandelier here. I wanted to show you guys some of the tomatoes that I actually started in the fall, trimmed back, and continued to produce. I've never done this before, and I wanted to try it out because I've read where you can do that. And here is a example of growing tomatoes and actually trimming them back and making them a all year round plant, as long as you don't get a hard freeze. At least we can do that here in our zone in Florida this year. But this one's already producing fruit. It's doing really good. I also started a lot of cherry tomatoes that are probably half that size that are starting to flower. I'll show you this one right here. Got my little flowers right there. And, ooh, I have to show you guys these onions. Look at these. Look at how big those are. That's crazy. I've never grown onions this big. So I'm really excited. I've already harvested a ton of onions about this size. I'm going to do some creamy onion soup. And we're going to kind of harvest as needed. I'm going to try to leave these in the ground and see how big I actually can get. So, I don't know. I'm crazy. Some things like that excite me. And I think as you guys start a garden, you'll also start to see the excitement and love and joy that I and my family get from gardening, because here's a squash plant, and we're starting to get a little squash there. A lot of my squash plants have flowers. See if I can get one in full bloom. There's some there. Here's our collard greens that still have a bunch of bugs on them. I did take some recommendations. A lot of you said use dust, and I did buy some. I just have not put it on yet because I'm kind of scared of what's actually in it. I know you can wash it off. I'll give it a try and see what happens. Now these green beans are going crazy. This is, look at those. I told our kids, because they've been watching these daily, that this weekend we're going to have a harvest party and we're going to see who can harvest the most green beans and just make it fun. Our kids eat these right off their plants, right off of our plants. I believe this is a bush variety. I can't remember because my little markers fade. And I should do a better job at keeping track of what is what. But I did start some pole beans too next to these. So I know that those will, oh, yep, there they are. They're already starting to vine up. And these are so easy to grow. So if you're looking for something super easy and fun for the kids, these produce like crazy. Any kind of bush bean or pole bean, the difference between bush and pole, one's a bush, one's a pole. I prefer a pole just because it looks cool. You can grow them up a trellis. They're easier to harvest. Bush beans for me, I'd rather not be on my knees trying to hunt for beans. But if you have kids, they're gonna love either one. It's fun. It's just like a vegetable hunt, almost like an Easter egg hunt for the kids. These are my sunflowers that are doing awesome. Some are larger than others, as you can see. And this variety is called Mammoth. I'm going to put my sunflower seeds that I save for sale soon. Figured if anything, I can sell them and help pay for some of this garden because it does get expensive at times. So you guys will be able to purchase those soon, and I will share with you when those are available and where you can get them. Here's our snow peas again along this old railing that have just done crazy amazing. Oh, there's our barn. It's completed finally. We for the longest time did not have a door up there, and it just bugged me. Finally, my husband and his crew got out there and they stained it and made it look nice. We also have some cute little handles on it. We have our pigs and our cows under there right now. We're gonna add chickens at some point. We're just not sure. I'm kind of over my head as it is. But look at those peas. How beautiful are those? Here's some more onions along here, some zinnias. I also had zinnias here in the fall, and look, I did not plant these. They just fell and reseeded themselves. So I'm gonna leave them there and just kind of let them go. There's no irrigation to that right there, so it'd be kind of fun to see, you know, these flowers with irrigation and without. I have a drip system here, which I've been begging my husband for years, which will kind of keep down blight and funguses and lots of diseases that you can typically get on your plants when you have overhead spray. Plus we're conserving water, which is a big deal for me. And you don't have to worry about a lot of troubles that you can get with the overhead watering, which we used to have. So that's this garden over here. And of course, if I'm skipping something, you have questions, you can always comment below. And over here is our nice little bed, flower bed here. I've picked up some lavender. I think I'm going to put it here. I don't know. I've tried to grow lavender for many years and I can never get it to grow. So I finally saw it at a department store and I'm going to go ahead and put them somewhere and kind of save them. They're really fun to dry them out and make them decorative. Here's our some more snow peas I have growing up. This old, fun bed frame. And I forgot to show you guys these last time, but this is desert rose. I have one over there by my daughter's little play area. They're beautiful. I've wanted them for years and finally got some. So here are our cucumbers and they have flowers everywhere. They're starting to shoot off these little vines that will soon attach to our trellis here. Hopefully they won't get ate by bugs like they did the last time I tried them. Got some more kohlrabi here along with some peppers. This is a jalapeno where I've done some companion planting. Look at that. Crazy. So I just pretty much put a snow pea and let it vine up this plant, which is taken over. You can do this with a lot of different vegetables. If you don't have a trellis structure, like over here, I'll show you on my other pepper plant, I have a snow pea growing up that. Me personally, I like to have kind of everything just so I'm organized in certain rows, but I thought I would just do this to show you guys that it is possible to do. Some more onions. I like to put onion sets between my plants because some bugs don't like the smell of onions, and that's why they're kind of scattered between our plants that are more bug prone than others. So here are some eggplants. I did see some eggplant. Oh, there it is. Here are some pretty flowers. Look at how pretty these eggplants are. And there's one right there. We're not big eggplant fans, but they are pretty to grow and they're pretty easy to grow. I have some other pepper plants here that are, this one my daughter loves to just pick these peppers off and eat them. These are sweet peppers that would turn yellow. She picks them way too soon. Our okra is doing awesome. I haven't seen any flowers yet. I do see little buds that should be blooming here soon. Here's my favorite pepper plant. Look at, I just can't even keep up with them. These are so good to snack with some ranch right off the plant. My kids will eat them. I did finally find another plant at Lowe's the other day. Lowe's has Bonnie Organics. It's so hard to find the Bonnie Organics, but here's an idea of what those plants can do compared to some of the non-organic ones that just kind of are blah. But they still produce. Our blueberries are doing crazy well, and you can see some blue ones down there. Every day after school, my kids' favorite thing to do. June will walk through here, pick blueberries. Autumn will run to the mulberry tree and get mulberries and loquats, and my youngest one will just do it every day. So that's why I try to keep her as much over there in our little play area, because she just loves picking stuff. She loves picking flowers. She loves picking everything, but it's so fun to watch her. It's fun to watch our family enjoy the garden. And hopefully I showed you everything. If you guys liked what you see, please be sure to subscribe, like, and comment if you have any questions. In the next few weeks, I'll give you guys an update of what's growing. We'll talk to you guys soon.